All right, welcome back everybody. Now, this is about 95% dry. That glue, that brownish glue that we put down, and then the paprika, and then the rocks, they're all adhered down nicely and they're not going anywhere. But we're gonna take a final step, and this is a step that I think is really crucial because it really helps lock everything down. And that way you won't have things flaking off in the future and little bits and parts flaking down. Everything locks down beautifully. And there's two ways you can go about it. I'm going to use a little bit of each. So in the last video, I told you we're just going to take our basic white glue or our basic white Mod Podge, and we're basically just going to do a whole cover coat on this. And that's absolutely true. But then I started thinking about it, and I thought, I have all of this left over. This is that glue and paint mixture that we made a little while ago, and you can absolutely use that. You can use parts, little bits here and there to provide different texturing. So I think what we're going to do is I'm going to go over the whole thing with the clear glue or just the basic white glue, and then we're going to go back and dab here and there, and that's going to provide different color around the model. That way it will not always be so uniform. Okay, so let's start with just doing this. And so this is so easy. So all you have to do is you just have to take the glue and just squeeze it all over the model. Now you can definitely get it on the rocks this time, on the top of the rocks. All right, you're just squeezing it. That's all you're doing, okay? You want to get it all over the place. And you can decide whether or not you want to use the foam brush or this. I'm going to use this sort of old fan brush, and I'm just going to start locking it down, okay? And again, this is one of those things where you want to make sure that you cover the entire surface of the model, okay? Bring it right to the edge. You want to definitely bring it right to the edge, and you're going to dab all the way around the whole thing. Now, this is a little bit where, it's going to test your patience a little bit, because now you have to make sure that you cover the whole surface in this glue covering. All right, but obviously I think you can see already what it does is it just locks everything down, keeps it from moving around, keeps it from flaking off, and it provides that sort of what I call like a professional finish. It has that finish that if you were to see a professional diorama or a professional piece at a science fiction convention or something, it has that sort of surface that looks like it was professionally made in a hobby shop or something. And that's what we're trying to mimic here. That sort of, I guess you'd call it a glaze. Let's call it a glaze. All right. So we're trying to put that glaze on it. And so I'm not going to make you suffer through this entire video like this, but you get the idea. You want to get the glue underneath the rocks, bring it right to the edge, go over the surface of the rocks. And even though everything is dried at this point, you're still sort of transferring some of the color of the paprika, some of that yellow of the granulated lemon peel, and it's kind of making everything sort of almost a homogenized look. And that's precisely what we want at this point. We're starting to blend all of the colors together. So I'm going to continue on with this. You continue doing it on your model as well. Cover the whole thing in this. Don't miss any spots, all right? And then from there, we'll go on to almost the last phase. We're getting very close to the last phase. So we'll see you then.